Hello kiddos, I'm going to try to show you a little bit how the arithmetic series and how this equation is derived as to finding the sum of a series from the first term or whatever term they mark here to the nth term. And so the way that the formula sets up is it's n, that's whatever number's up here, times a sub 1 plus a sub n divided by 2. So why does this work? Maybe knowing why this works will help us remember it. And maybe just be able to find the sum of the series regardless of memorizing the formula, just understanding what is going on here. So let's take a look. If I was to make the series 1 through 9, so let's do 9 blanks. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what I want to do is I want to add up all these numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and so forth. Let's pretend that I make all of these to the same number. I want the value of these to be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this 9 and this 1. I'm going to start off on the ends. And if I do 1 plus 9, that gives me a 10. And if I divide 10 by 2, that gives me 5. So let's change this first term to a 5 and this last term to a 5. So I went up 4 here and down 4 there. And 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. So I haven't changed the value of the sequence yet. It's still going okay. So I can cross those off. I've taken care of those. Now let's do the 2 and the 8. What is 2 plus 8? And then that's 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that means I could change that 2 to a 5 and that 8 to a 5. Because you see I just went up 3 here and down 3 there and arrived at 5 both times. So I can cross those off and hopefully start to see how this goes. Because I could do the 3 plus the 7 and also get 10 divided by 2. And I get 5s here and a 5 there for 3 and 7. 4 and 6 will turn into 5 as well, and that 5 in the middle remains a 5. So I've just changed them all. Finding the average of this first one, just the 1 plus 9, and getting the average being 5, I could fill in the rest of them the same way, because the way an arithmetic sequence works is it's adding the same thing every time. So that average is going to always be the same thing. If I do the average of the first and last term, then it's still going to be the same average between the second to last term and the second term. It's going to be the same average all the way across. So it just turns into this. So this whole thing right here, instead of actually having to, 5 plus 5 and so forth, we could just say, how many of them are there? Well, there are 9 of them. So that is 9 times 5. And that is where that whole formula came into play, because we take the first term, which was 1, the nth term, which for us was 9, we added them together, divided by 2, and we got a 5. And then we said, okay, let's take that 5 and multiply it times how many terms we had, which was a 9. And so 9 times 5 is 45. And if you were to actually get out a calculator, if you wanted to use a calculator, and add up all these terms, you would get to 45. See, 1 plus 2 is 3, that's 6, that's 10, 15, 21, that's 28, 28, plus that's 36, and 36 plus 9, that is 45. So that is 45. We got that right there. So hopefully that shows you a little bit how we derive this formula, just finding the average of the first and last term and multiplying it times how many terms we have. And that is how we do that every single time. If you need more help, be sure to let me know. I'd love to help you out.